Hello again. In this grammar video, we will learn two other kinds of adjective called classifiers and describers. Some grammarians call describers as modifiers. As we have already learned, the function of adjective is to tell us something more about a noun or in some cases about pronoun. So classifiers and describers have the same function, but there is some extra information about them that we are going to learn. These types of adjectives used to define a noun, as this is the general function of an adjective. But how they differ from other kinds, let's talk about it. Describers, actually, they are descriptive adjectives. Means mostly they are adjectives and do the function of adjective. Of course, an adjective will do a function of adjective, but in some cases, some other words also do the function of adjective. That's why I focused on that word or stressed on that word. So describers provide subjective or factual information. Subjective is something that only exists in your thoughts, may not be based on facts. So something that is not based on facts, we call it subjective, non-concrete. And factual comes from the word fact. So describers tell us about a noun, the information that is either subjective or factual. And what kind of that information is? The size of a noun, color of a noun, shape of a noun, quality of a noun, or speaker or writer's attitude towards that particular noun. It means if I am writing something or I am speaking about something, and how I think about that particular thing I'm talking about its quality or some other attribute. So what's my opinion? If an adjective tells my opinion about the noun, we call it is a describer. So it can be subjective or factual. Let us understand this whole scenario through some examples. The example number one is hot coffee. The green words are describers. So hot coffee. So hot here describes coffee. Or to me it is hot. Some people drink very hot coffee. To them it is normal, and for others maybe whatever. Red car. This is actually a factual description of the car. Dusty road. Here dusty is adjective and describes the road. Big house. Here the word big describes the word house. Beautiful view. Here beautiful describes the word view. Large tall. Here the word large describes the tall. Nice sofa and lovely child. In all these examples, the adjectives in green words tell us a subjective or a factual information about the nouns. And in parts of speech, all these words are adjectives. What are the key points that we have to keep in our mind to properly understand the describers? Point number one is normally they are adjective. Means they cannot be other part of the speech. What other parts of the speech may be used adjective, I am going to talk about in classifiers. So normally the describers are adjective. And number two, often gradable. If you have listened to my video or watched my video, About gradable adjectives, they are the adjectives which have a concept of degrees. So describers or the adjectives that have a concept of degree. It means less or more. As I can say, and it is quite correct and normal, very hot. So I am increasing the degree of hot, and then quite red, and I am making it little more or add something to the meaning of red, which is adjective. So the very important point that will help you understand that the adjective is a describer, that it is gradable. As far as classifiers are concerned, they are adjectives and also nouns. Nouns may also be used to add to the meaning of another noun. Yes, that is also possible, and we call them classifiers. Okay, what is the function of the classifiers? These are the words. I'm using here the common word, that is words, not adjectives, because a noun and adjective can be a classifier. So words, often adjective, are noun, but noun acting as adjective. As I earlier told you, that assign a noun to a specific class, type, group, or category. Means when we use classifiers before the nouns, so they specify them in a particular class, or they show their type, or they show their category. They define what type of a thing a noun is. Here it is not a subjective or a factual information, but they tell us the type. So keep the point in your mind that when we are talking about classifiers, we are talking about the type of a noun. Let us understand that thing through the examples. The green words are classifiers. Police car. Now we already know that the word police is a noun. But in this phrase, the word police is used as an adjective, and it tells us something more about the car, and we will say it is a classifier and functions as an adjective. Electric bulb. Electric is adjective but tells us what type of a bulb? Electric bulb. Here electric is adjective. As I earlier mentioned, that classifiers may be adjectives or nouns. Kitchen table. Now kitchen is the name of place according to the grammar, but in this phrase it is functioning as an adjective and tells us that what type of a table? Kitchen table. So here it functions like an adjective, and we will say it is classifier but not a describer. A sports suit or a sports shirt, whatever you say. So here sports, you already know, is a noun, but here it tells us something more about a shirt or a suit. Then we will say that this is actually a classifier, and here it functions like an adjective. Group photo. Group in parts of speech is adjective, a noun, but in this phrase it is functioning like a classifier, an adjective, and we will call it is a classifier. Chemical reaction. Chemical, the word chemical is noun and also adjective in English, but here in this phrase it is doing the work of an adjective, so we will say it is a classifier and tells us the type of the reaction. Luxury coach. Here luxury tells us the type of the coach, so luxury is here classifier. What are the key points that will help us understand that the adjective is a classifier, not a describer or a modifier? The first thing you have to keep in your mind is they may be a noun or an adjective. That is the key point. So a noun can also be used as an adjective to tell us the type of another noun, or an adjective also functions, which is the normal work of an adjective. Another very important thing that will help you to understand that the adjective is a classifier, that classifier are non-gradable. That means that there is no concept of degrees. We cannot say more or less by adding other adverbs with them. Or we can't say, like I said, tall, taller, tallest, degrees, hard, very hot, making or increasing the degree of heat. So the classifiers are non-gradable adjectives. If you put the other words that intensify their meaning, the sentence will be wrong or a phrase will be wrong. For example, if I say, let us talk about police car, I say very police car, incorrect. Very electric bulb or more electric bulb, incorrect. Two kitchen table, incorrect. Or very group photo, incorrect. So the very important point you have to keep in your mind about the classifiers is that they are non-gradable and describers are gradable adjectives. Now in some cases, we have to put both of these adjectives together with the noun. So what will be the order? Let us also discuss that thing too. If your classifiers and modifiers come together, then describers usually come before classifiers. So in the order of the sentence, you are writing and you have two adjectives. One is the describer and other is a classifier. So describer will come before the classifier. Let us understand this point through the example. A beautiful leather bag. Here, beautiful is a describer and leather is a classifier. So first describer and then classifier. A fast sports car. Fast, describer, and sports is a classifier. A modern electric machine. Here again, modern, electric, both of them actually are classifiers, but in this pattern, we are putting any one of the two in our phrase. But this is more suitable one that I have written. I hope you learned the difference between classifiers and describers or modifiers. If you have any question related to the topic, don't hesitate to ask. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Until my next video, bye bye.